Yeah, Sunday, yeah. Hey, I'm back in my bag, I know they missing me. Ay, you know I go hard until they finish me. Ay, I wake up and grind, they try to limit me. Highway to heaven, you know we run high intensity. That's right. I'm back in my bag, I know they missing me. Ay, you know I go hard until they finish me. Ay, I wake up and grind, they try to limit me. Highway to heaven, you know we run high intensity. Sundays with Jus10, Mondays we hustling, Tuesdays still training, by Wednesday it's draining, shot wet like it's raining. It's not though, try to knock me off my pivot, I'm straight to the block though. I can't do no pump fake, still watch out for the block though. I'm not your average player, I'm all-star status. Give all y'all answers, not no ball hog bastard. Jump shot look synthetic, but it's all natural. Body full of ice like I got back from.
What's up, y'all? It's Coach Jus10. We're here again at the Sit Down Podcast. We have a very, very special guest, my guy, man, Pass. What's up, brother?
What's happening, brother? What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. How are you?
I'm chilling, man. It's good to see you. Come on, man.
For sure, bro.
You know?
For sure, man. We've been talking about this for so long,
I know,
man.
yeah.
First of all, I want to say thank you, bro, taking the time out your busy schedule to come do this for me. You gave me your word and kept it, man, and I appreciate that first and foremost. So let's to regularly schedule programming. Let's start at Young Pass, man. Tell us where you born and raised, about your childhood, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, man, Young Pass. That's crazy. I grew up in Oakland, California, Bay Area, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Grew up in North Oakland on 45th. We lived on 45th and Shafter, but right there by Tech and Emerson. But used to hang out all around there. Used to kick it all like up and down 45th, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. How was
So I was like, that's where I grew up at. But at a certain point, it was like my parents split up. So then I was spending time between like there and like MacArthur and stuff, and then like the lake. So I kind of grew up like everywhere. You feel me? Yeah. But,
I feel you. How was it? Did you have like siblings and stuff growing up? Only child?
Yeah, no, I got an older brother. Damn, how old is this? He's like 4.5 years older than me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah,
Are y'all super close?
We're very close.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? You got kids, you know, nieces, nephews.
That's
you feel
dope.
me?
That's
Like,
dope.
you know, he's had a kind of crazy life story, but he definitely put me on to a lot of shit. I was trying to be like him. He was a rapper, you feel me?
Wow.
And like we rapped together, you know what I'm
For
saying?
real?
That's like how like I was finna get there. I guess that is
My bad.
that is a good place to start. Well, no, that's a good that is, you know, basically like the beginning of this shit, you feel me? Is like me looking up to my brother, and he was heavy like into rap music and every day playing tapes and shit at the house. Like, so even though I was, you know, very young at the time, like I was like
subconsciously soaking that game up.
Yes.
Yep.
And then even consciously, like straight up, like, what is this? You feel me? Like
Exactly.
eventually it led to like me trying to rap, and I was like,
What got him into it? Do you know?
man, I don't even know, man. I think just like being in school.
So not pops or nobody else in the family?
Nah,
Okay.
nah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, nobody else. Like he's going to Claremont, you know what I mean? And,
So that young.
yeah,
Y'all rapping that?
Well, shit. Actually, okay, wait, let me think about this. I was very young.
Right.
But I think my brother, was like free. Like I was like over here literally using a tape recorder.
We did that same. I know where you're
with
going.
the boombox, and then I had the
press
instrumental press play and shit. Did the whole weird
bro.
recording thing. I was like rapping like West Side Connection lyrics over the instrumental. That's like how I started. But I was doing that very early on. Yeah, I think I was like 10.
That
like,
makes
doing
sense
that
because
type of
me
shit.
and my cousin who does he's the rapper on the intro of my show.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
obviously I feel like everybody rapped at some point. He still raps.
Okay.
But we did
Hell
the same
yeah.
thing as kids, and we were about that same age, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So is your brother nice?
Yeah, he was. I mean, to me, he was the best rapper in the world.
That's hard.
And it was like, so he was rapping, and then we got a little bit older. Then I was in like 7th, 8th grade, so he was in high school. And then he straight up linked up with our close friend, Marcus Turner, aka Marcus Made Beats, excuse me, who I still make music with to this day.
That's dope.
He's gonna be on my album. He did the title track on my album
That's
and
dope.
shit. So,
That's dope.
excuse me.
No, you good.
But Marcus and my brother got together, and then they were kind of learning under these two guys, these twin brothers, Kali and Jay, rest in peace, who just passed away.
Oh wow.
Just a couple months ago. And these guys were like rappers, producers. They were fucking around with the Boogie Shack, which is like a legendary kind of underground studio in West Oakland where like Ascari X was like living at, basically. It was kind of like a Maney situation. It's just random, but I don't know how they even connected, honestly, because they were older than them even, you feel me? And I was like in 8th grade. But, you know, Marcus put a lab at his crib. We did like an album. I was in 8th grade, I think, when we finished, when it was like done, when it came out or something. And that was really like the beginning. Those were my first times getting in the studio. Like I was like 12, 13, like recording in the lab, you know, and these guys were like teaching us how to write songs and shit, how to write like 16 bars, write choruses and do bridges. And what these guys even put us on, and were putting my brother and I on. And when you asked me, like, you know, was my brother nice? It was like I learned like damn near my rapping shit from him. Like it was all like these guys were kind of the ones that was like, yo, listen to what Tupac did right there with that rhyme, and listen to like what E40 did with that rhyme, and then they would be like, listen to what Biggie did with this, like, and they were really technical. And they're like, you see how they're matching like compound like syllable rhymes.
So this isn't your
like
brother.
That.
This is the OGs.
Well, they were teaching him,
and then he's passing.
And then
the game
he was kind of, you know what I mean, kicking it to me and shit. And then you know, he would be freestyling and stuff, and like just to me, I was like, this is the best, like he the best rapper in the world, like literally, like, he's the best ever. Like so I'm trying to be like him.
Right, that's fine.
And then I eventually got around all those guys like Kali and Jay and Marcus, and then they seen what I was doing. They was like, yo, you know, I seen where my brother was kind of learning, picking up game from and stuff, and then. Yeah, that was literally the beginning.
Did they think you were nice at that point? Like, were you born with it, or did you kind of grow into it? You get what I'm asking, right?
Yeah, no.
Like, were they listening? Like, oh shit, this youngster got something.
No, I think yeah, that's what it was. Like, it definitely was. It was not like on some like, yo, this shit is weak. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta get better because you know sometimes it's like that. Some people, you know, whatever. But it was really like whoa, like, because I was studying, you know what I mean? Like, I was listening hella hard, and I was writing a lot before, and I was freestyling by myself before I let anybody hear anything, you know what I mean? So then eventually I was like, you know, kind of just like, you know, nutted up and did that shit, and then was like, listen to this, and then everybody's like, what? Like, wait, what? So you really do that? You know what I mean? And then they were like, yo, we got to do like an album together, and
that's dope.
And it was, yeah, that was, you know, like I said, really the beginning of like me being like, oh, I could do this, and I'm like good at it. You know what I mean?
So what high school and stuff did you go to?
I went to a few different high schools. I went to St. Mary's in Berkeley. Yep. That was where I first went. I was there for most of the time, and then went to Oakland High. Was living by the lake at that time. And then after that, went to a school that I don't think exists. No, you might know about it, Sojourner Truth.
Oh, yeah, they actually still have that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like the independent studies.
Independent studies.
Yeah, that's what they do that now, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah, I only know that because I still coach.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I figured, I was like, I thought they weren't around actually anymore.
No, they still have it. So did you play like sports at all growing up, or was it just music?
Man, I was doing a bunch of creative stuff. No, I was not just music, but I didn't really play like team sports at school. I was doing boxing at King's Gym though.
Oh wow.
My brother also was doing that, so I was like, I want to be like, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And my uncle was heavily like involved with that gym. It's my Uncle Kevin. And so, yeah, I went there for a while, and it was really awesome. But I did like music. I did theater. I did like band. Do you feel me? Like, I was like trying to play bass and shit.
Is this all centered around because at this point you want to be a rapper?
Yeah.
So you're just all musically, creatively, entertainment, performance. It's like,
I guess subconsciously, yeah. Like it was like, you know, I just wanted to try some different shit. Like, I didn't really know what I wanted. You know, like I was like something. You know what I mean? But I think theater was cool, and I've done like, you know, recently done like voice acting and acting and shit like that. So it's dope. Like, you know, that's dope. Like, all right, maybe I knew then. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that much different to me than like rapping or whatever, and kind of any of that shit, even sports and all that. It's very like similar.
Yeah,
you know
performing arts all in
all
in a
that.
sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. For how long do you kind of stay under your brother and the other OGs?
Yeah, a while. We did like one album, and I think we were like trying to push that for a while. We did like some shows and stuff. We performed at St. Mary's before I went there. Actually, I think it was in the summer before I ended up or something. I forget, but I wasn't there yet, and I remember we performed there. We did like some other stuff like that.
That's dope.
And then when I was in high school, I met my boy Apes, who still is like one of my best friends. Probably my brother, my best friend for real. You know what I mean? Yep. And we started rapping together, and then we made a group together called Animal Planet. You know, and then around that time we were working with Marcus and stuff, and we were like, "Yo, let's work with you and do some stuff." And we were kind of like fucking around the whole time. We didn't really take it hella serious, but I think we wanted to take it serious. It's difficult to, it's like life is crazy. You know what I mean? But
I can imagine now the way you do it is completely different from then.
Yes.
Because probably experience, trial and error, all of those things.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So were you always because then you were now you're Pass, but before you were Passwurdz, when I first heard of, was that your rap name back then?
Okay, nah. When I was rapping with my brother, it's not a bad name. My name was Knowledge.
Okay.
So if you look on the cut, and the group was called Zone Mist. Okay. I don't know what that means. You feel me? I didn't name it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think Kali and one of them, because they also gave me my name. I don't think they probably don't remember that. But afterward, I was like, I don't want to be Knowledge. And then I remember being with my brother and being with Kali, and I'm pretty sure my brother was the one who said this shit. He was like, "Oh, your name should be Passwurdz," because it's like. He was saying, because we used to freestyle like off the top of the head all the time. So he's like, you always, it's like the words just pass through you, feel me? And then Kali was there. I remember this very vividly. And then Kali was sitting there and he's like, yeah, and he's like the cheat code. He's like the secret weapon, you feel me? I don't know. So that ended up being
That's hard though.
I know, you feel
me?
Yeah. And, so they really like gave me the name, you know what I'm saying? I remember we were like we were at our crib actually, at Mom's crib, and like Kali was there and my brother, we were like sitting there like playing beats and like freestyling and shit like that.
That's dope.
But yeah, so yeah, that was my name at that time.
And then, so are you in school battling at all? Or you?
Yes.
So you are.
Yeah.
Really?
I remember battling someone when I was like in 8th grade.
For real?
Yeah. That was probably the first time that I ever did it like for real. You know
How were you introduced to it though? Just.
I remember that too.
Thank God.
I remember it. It was on the radio one day. It was me and my brother were like just listening to the radio and shit, like, the wake up show like used to come on like late at night on Cameo. And so we were listening, and all of a sudden they played Juice vs. Supernatural, and I don't know. I don't think it was live. I think they were like playing or recording. I actually don't know. It might have been live, bro, for all I know, which would be even crazier if I actually listened to the live version of that. But listen to that, and at the time I was like, didn't know what it was, but I knew exactly what it was at the same time. I was like, wait, what? They're battling. I don't get, I don't understand
they're
that.
At each other.
They're rapping at each other and dissing each other in person over beats and shit. Like, it was, and freestyling, you feel me? And so I was like super blown away and like immediately wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the ultimate like version of what we're trying to do. We're just over here freestyling and trying to be good. And then, I don't know. After that, I just remember really wanting to find somebody that I could battle. You feel me? Like,
you probably
how
was
do
like
I do that?
A bully walking around, rapping your ass off.
I wanted to because we definitely would be at school freestyling and stuff, and I'm like, bro, but who But no, we need more people so we could you know what I mean? So there could somebody who could challenge me, so I could challenge somebody else. And then I remember this one time, this like short ass kid that I don't remember anything I said, but I definitely remember doing that shit. And
Did you kill him?
Yeah, it was bad.
Of course.
And it was like these girls was there, and they were just like, "Oh my god!" Like, because I just clowned them and shit. Like, it was.
Yeah. So you mentioned freestyling a lot. Did you start off like mostly freestyling, or was that just like lyrical exercise for you as well?
No, I think that is what we were doing mostly. Was like trying to freestyle and trying to like. The goal was like to say the craziest shit. Like, how could you think of that off the top of the head? Like, how did you put those two rhymes together off the top of your head? Like, that was like the thing that we were like always constantly going for. So yeah, I think it's safe to say we really started with that shit.
Did your brother ever get in a battle?
Not on a real like battle. No.
Not like how you took it.
He might have done like one or something. I don't really remember. I have like some image in my head of him on stage with a mic battling somebody, but I don't really remember. But I do. He did though, like in circles and would be like. Yeah. I remember him, battling against like other people in the little circles and shit, like ciphers. But nah, he didn't really get into it like that.
So when you guys, is Animal Planet was the name of the group you guys?
That's right,
around high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you guys how many albums and stuff?
So we put out like a mixtape like towards the end of high school. Or I think we did it around the end of high school, and we put it out like probably a while after that. And then hella shit had just been happening. But in the last like forget what year, we put out two projects like kind of recently. I think 2019 and 2020. Yeah.
So y'all still rap together?
Yeah.
Is it still called Animal Planet?
Yeah. We got those two projects together. I've been doing a lot of different shit now, and so it's like, past like year and a half, 2 years, I've been really working with Grand National real heavy and shit like that. So that's kind of like been a focus. But we have two projects, and they came out then, and they're produced all by Marcus Maybes, except for I think one of the projects got a couple other songs, but it's called one of them's called The Box Breakdown in 2018, and put out The Box in 2020, and mostly produced by Marcus, and so who we still. That's fire, if he sends me a pack right now, like it's good. And yeah, Apes is working on solo music, and I was in the lab with him working on it and shit with him, and so yeah, we still definitely making music together. Yeah.
You have a lot of obviously we talked a little bit off camera. You have a lot of long time friends, man. That says a lot about somebody's character to me. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but you know what I mean.
No, I definitely I think I don't have that, I would say that probably the people closest to me are people I've known for a while.
That's
dope.
What I mean? That's dope. Yeah. That's a good position to be in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
How go ahead, you about to say something?
Well, I was just gonna say sometimes you could be really close. I have people that I'm really, really close with that I haven't known that long. Like I'm really close with like Deuce even like and Kev, Monty, shout out to Brookfield Deuce and all my guys in Grand National. Some of them I've known for a little while. Some of them I didn't really know or get to know until we started working together, which was like 2020, I want to say. Yeah, like I'm really close with those brothers too. Like, so you know what I mean. Like, so yeah. But I've also definitely have some like people I've known for a very long time. Apes, Lush, you know what I mean. Plex, a lot of people. Yeah.
Speaking of Lush, man, you told me off camera he kind of got you into the battle rap thing. Obviously, that's how I know you. I think my first battle seeing from you was against Hollow. Back on Grind Time.
That's right, which he put together.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was one of your, before we get to that part of the timeline, what was one of your first battles? Like how old was you? You don't have to give me dates and all that.
I was, I guess it depends on what you, like, I'd have battled on the street, battled at school, like, but I went on stage, like, at an organized, like, an event very young when I was, like, 15 or something.
Really?
Like that. Yeah, but it wasn't, like, it was, over beats, and it was, like, you're showing up to an event, you don't know who's going to be there. You're literally just freestyling, you feel me? Because everybody freestyling. So I was doing that type of shit really early on. But then my very first, like, professional, I would say, like, where it was, like, booked and, it was this new YouTube era was on Grind Time, and it was against Illusion Z.
I don't think I've seen that.
That's, it was dope. I mean, honestly, I kind of went crazy, but it's not like it's, it's not an important battle necessarily. But it was, the first time I got on there, and like, I remember A+ from like Hyro was there, and a lot of other people in Lush put that together, and he was basically doing all the like West Coast Grind Time events, and so, and then my first few battles were kind of crazy, like, honestly, like, and I can't remember the order exactly. I'm sure Lush would if he was here right now, honestly, but I battled like Illusion Z. Hollow might have been like my next battle after.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
But the thing was,
did you know much about him?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
he was doing his thing at the time, and you know, battle rap itself was just kind of becoming really popular, but it was like becoming really, really popular, and so they were doing events, and Hollow had like a really big performance, so he was already like one of the top guys. I had a pretty big performance, but I also had already had this like kind of unique thing where I had a name a little bit because I'd been like in the other era of battle rap, but it's still battle rap. But so
Right.
everyone, a lot of people knew who I was. That's why I was like already kind of in that position. And I battled like Daylight. So I battled like, it was like Illusion Z, Locksmith, Hollow, and Daylight. Those were like my first like
God
4
damn.
battles. You feel me? Yeah. And so it was like, that's really like now. Well, Locksmith is a huge, back then especially, like it was a
I
big
was gonna
deal.
ask
You
you
feel
that,
me?
yeah.
And that was like put together. You know, I think they wanted to get Locksmith more in the battle world. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Rightfully so. Shit.
you know, yeah, he was like, you know, he was that guy, and he battled like Fab and did the stuff on KML and shit, and he was doing battles. He did MTV and shit. So
I
it
remember
made sense,
seeing him.
right?
I was so young at that point, but I
Yeah.
remember that's when I want to say I first heard of Locksmith, or he was already. Actually, I think I already knew who he
I
was.
can't really. It's hard for me to remember.
The timeline for me is I'm bad with that too. Bro.
Yeah,
like
I'm
what
like-
came first, what came after.
Yeah, I'm 33, so I'm like about
I'm
to
30.
be 34. Are you 30?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm 30. Yeah,
I can't really. Oh, you was even younger.
exactly.
So okay, yeah, EA Ski, I think it like hit up Lush and shit, and for a minute, bro, like after that battle, I was like very close with EA Ski. Like we would talk every day.
Oh wow.
Like he was calling me. Like to be completely honest, I think that he might have been like vetting me to see like if I could be down with the EA Ski team, like
Yeah.
Locksmith and Left
Yo,
and them
yo,
and
yo.
stuff, and I wasn't really sure. I don't know. I think, you know, maybe he was vetting me. It was like, not yet. You feel me or some shit? I don't know.
Right,
Because
right, right.
eventually we just kind of like stopped talking. He's still hella cool. I ran into him, like, you know, I've run into him since that era, and it's been all love and shit. And
That's dope.
I think him and Ape's dad go to the same gym.
Oh, for real?
on the
Small
random. They're
world,
both like
man.
hella buff, like older black dudes. You
Right.
feel me? So it makes sense. They know each other low key.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to Jeff. but yeah, that was like a funny time. But yeah, it's like if you think about those names, like it's crazy. It's like Locksmith, Daylight, and Hollow the Dawn. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's
like
crazy,
a while.
bro.
But that's why I'm kind of now seeing how I am, I think, because people like my introduction to this shit is like some pretty big like names. or
Big high,
whatever, you know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
high level shit.
High level
Yeah.
competition.
No, that's facts. And looking back on those old battles, are you like super critical of yourself? Like, man, that shit was trash, or I was
Yes.
fire. Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's like somewhere in between. Like I can sometimes look at it and appreciate it for the moment, especially like the older ones. You know what I'm saying?
For nostalgia purposes.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
But at the like, to be honest with you, and I just was like talking about this with somebody recently. Like I've like where I'm at right now. Like I feel like I can't even watch any of the old shit. Like anything I've done before this tournament, I'm like that shit was cool. I might have won. I won. You feel me? Whoopie whoop. I did my thing. I got the crowd on my. But that shit is not it. Like I'm in a different place right now. Like I really unlocked like the thing where
That's
like I could just go
fire,
crazy.
bro. That's fire.
So now it's like easy almost. Like I don't want to say easy.
I know
but
what you
it's like,
mean.
it's just easy to tap in.
It's like you in your bag now. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I know
That's-
exactly what you mean.
That's
bro.
really all it is.
Yeah.
So like that shit was cool, and it was like all right, but it's hard for me to watch because there's certain moments where I'm like, damn, I wasn't really
locked in.
wasn't in my bag like that. I wasn't like. I gave a fuck about certain things still, and I wasn't just doing what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? And so,
How much of that plays a part in your and not your writing process specifically, but just as an artist? I know you can only speak to yourself,
Yeah.
but you have friends.
yeah, no, I mean, shit, man. I would say, honestly, for anything, I think that like just being like centered and stuff, and like having like a real like, you know, and it sounds weird and it sounds like whatever that kind of like, you know, psychology bro like talk or whatever you feel
Cliche.
me? But that shit is true. Like the reason that I'm killing it right now is because of the mental space that I'm in, you know what I mean? And like the reason that I'm critical of them past times is because of like I know that I was going through some shit mentally at that time. Like And even when I wasn't going through it, I hadn't made the breakthrough yet. You feel me? Like, and it's like, damn, I kind of feel like no matter what you're doing, if it's like art or if it's anything creative, or even if it's like just trying to excel in any kind of thing you want to excel in, it really takes that level of like, you know, like boom, self-awareness, not taking shit personally, you know what I'm saying? And just having like the ability to like, you know yourself, you feel me? And understand like your boundaries and stuff, and understand like how far you're willing to push yourself and what you really want and stuff like that. Like all that shit is literally like, you could list those things that I just said and be like, boom, that's the key. But that's like the hardest thing in the world. It's like a lifelong journey, you feel me? Because that's the key.
Because at the same time, I'm glad you said that. At the same time, you're learning what that is that you even want to be too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going through life trying to figure out.
You might not know. You
exactly.
feel me? Yeah.
And then you got all these pressures around. Everybody around you is making it seem like they have it figured out. So that's like natural pressure also. That's interesting though.
Yeah. And so as far as like music, battle rap, yeah, I think, and the same for music. I feel like now I'm in a place where it's like really different, and like I trust myself, like, you know, and yeah, I might want to do something completely different. And now, like, you know, I've been doing all types of different shit, been trying different shit out just because it's like, none of this shit matters.
Right.
Like, I know myself.
Right.
So what
Right. Yep.
The same thing with this battle thing. I'm like, bro, like when I first battled Fate, which was my first match in the tournament, in the season. Everybody, whenever I say tournament, these fools at King of the Dot be like, hey, it's a season. And I'm like, that is true, because it's a long-ass tournament. Right. If you think about it like that, you know, it shit started like last year.
Right.
That's longer than the fucking NFL season.
Right.
But when I battled Fate, that was the first one, and I hadn't battled in 2 years, you feel me, before that. You know, not for any particular reason, like COVID happened, and, you know, there were matches and opportunities that came to me, and I just was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, you know, but I just didn't battle for 2 years. Eventually did this, and then when I did it, I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm in a different bag right now.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to rock with this, honestly.
Right.
So I'm just going to do what I want to do. Like, I'm not really going to, like, try to, like win a battle, you feel me, per se. I'm just finna like do what I want to do in a battle. You know what I mean?
And be okay with the results.
And be good with the results.
Yeah, that's fact.
And, you know, like,
that has to be more relieving. The stuff.
And so like I've been out the game for 2 years. I kind of was gonna approach this shit differently. I started writing for the battle, and then I was like, man, I'm like, yeah, I'm rapping different a little bit right now, and I'm not even sure that they're gonna like this. You feel me? Right. I don't know if this is gonna win. I might lose to this young man right now. You feel me? I went there prepared. I was like, I might lose to Fate, and I'm at peace with that. It's not about like people don't understand. Like people say things like, "Thank you."
Yep.
Like talking about like, oh, you know, you never. You know, there is a balance. Like you can picture yourself winning, like envision, manifest your blessings and wins and shit. But you got to be at peace. You got to be able to be at peace with whatever happens that you can't control. You feel me? So I'm like, this is up to 4 judges, whatever. I don't know these people. I don't even know who's judging at this point. I don't even care, man. I'm just gonna go and do what I want. And then when it was received so well, I was like, okay, so that's how this works. You know, it's like I just can do what I want with integrity and be good at it, you know what I mean? Not just do what I want, like go up there and say the ABCs, but like I can put the effort into what I want to put the effort into, and it will get good results. And now I'm in the Final Four of this shit. So it's like this shit worked.
Salute for that, man. Salute for that. Go bring that 100K back to the town, man.
I think I'm going to.
Go bring that 100K back to the town.
I think I'm going to.
I believe, man. I've been, to be honest, this might sound terrible, but I am a pretty avid battle rap watcher, but I don't really watch KOTD anymore. But I have been following you specifically, just because I'm rooting for you. Obviously, when I met you, I told you how much of a fan I was, and all those things. Especially when I first saw you battle in Hollow, I'll never forget. It was like because I grew up on High Street.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I remember the bar where you was like, I'm from 45th or something, but I grew up on 35th and Mac.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
exactly.
what?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
Oakland? Like, I've never seen this dude before. Like, what the fuck? We got an Oakland battle rapper?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a Jew. So from
Yeah.
that moment, I literally followed your whole career,
Nice,
bro.
man. That's amazing.
Because, and then me never getting the chance to meet you and then finally getting the chance to meet you was like, it was that I didn't want to make it seem hella fanboys, but I'm like, oh shit,
Bro,
this is fire,
yeah,
bro. Like,
nah, bro. I mean, it's because I can imagine like if you just like me, like I just happen to be a battle rapper in it, but
Right.
like I also was like watching this shit. If I all of a sudden seen somebody from Oakland, like I'd be tripping.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, who is this, bro? But that's love, bro. I hella appreciate that.
do you feel like a legend?
I don't know.
Oh,
I low key be feeling like I haven't even done shit yet.
Really?
You feel me? Like yet.
Of course.
Like I feel like it's like amazing whenever like once in a while I go somewhere people recognize me or something, and honestly that shit is, I don't know, maybe it's the season or whatever, but even when I wasn't like battling, like it just started happening a lot more, and like meeting other people in the industry who like seem to be familiar with me and stuff like that. Like that shit is always like really like
surreal.
It's surreal every time, like bro. Like I'm never gonna get used to like being in the store and somebody be like, oh, what's up with Pass?
Exactly.
Because I'm like, oh, every time I'm looking like, how do I know you?
Exactly.
You feel me? Like every single time I look
Yep.
at him like, oh yeah, what's up, blood? Or I'm like, oh yeah, you don't, yeah. But it happens, it happens sometimes. But I don't know. I mean, I don't, legend and shit or whatever, all them things, those are like words, but I have goals and shit. There's certain things that I want to do that's the shit I'm excited about. That's the thing that I'm like trying to stay fueled about, you know what I mean? As far as like, but I'm extremely humbled, and it's very surreal still when people like say that shit. So it's like,
let's go back. I want to get back to the battle rap and the tournament and all of. Let's go back to your music writing process. I asked like, so I've never really sat besides Ian Kelly. Obviously, that's how me and you kind of met.
Yeah.
So
that's a bro.
Yeah, exactly. I've never really sat. Yeah, shout out to my God, man. That's my dog right there.
Man.
He actually did a intro verse for one of my new shows that I'm doing.
Oh, really?
Too, so,
amazing.
Because that's my dog. Me and Ian played like youth football together.
Oh, really?
And that's how. Yeah, we've been on each other for so long.
Wait, so you don't know Justin Jennings?
I don't know.
Where'd you go to school at?
I went to Mac. I graduated from Mac.
But what about like
I went to
middle
Bret Hart
school?
Middle School.
You went to Bret Hart?
Bret Hart, yeah.
Bro, that's where I lived at. It was next door to like Bret Hart.
For real?
Yes.
Yeah, I graduated from Bret Hart. That's crazy.
That's like when I was like between like my dad
and,
when my parents split up, my mom's we actually moved in with my grandmother who also kind of lived like up like 35th, but it was like up 30. That wasn't what I was talking about.
Closer to Redwood Heights?
Sort of like around there, like. But then my dad moved from the north. He was still in the north, and he moved to like over there on MacArthur, like Maple and MacArthur, right there.
Okay, yep.
And then
see,
all
I was
of my
above
partners,
High Street too.
Oh, for real?
So
yeah.
we were really close. To
I know. At the time when I like battled Hollow and everything, I was also like kicking it hella much with like a bunch of my partners who were from like straight up on 35th and Mac. Like my partner Didi, who's like an amazing skater. You feel me? Deontay.
That's dope.
Buzz and them and all these guys and shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's hella funny, man.
Man.
Yes.
So do you write like just random verses and then find beats to lay them to? Do you go in the studio, write a verse to a beat? Like how does your writing process, if you don't mind sharing?
I used to, of course. I love like talking about that shit, bro. Honestly, like that's like I'd definitely be nerding out on that type of shit. But yeah, me and usually with me, I used to definitely like just have random verses. Like I would like write a verse to like a song that I hella liked or something.
Right.
And every once in a blue moon I'll do that, like just for fun or an exercise, you feel me? But nowadays I pretty much strictly like hear the music. Like the music is such a big part of it to me, like the beat, the production and shit. And so it's really about, for me, it's really about getting in the lab. I will have ideas and stuff. Sometimes I'll have like a rhyme, like 2 bars or maybe 4, like, but most of the time it'll be like 2 bar, like 1 bar or something that's just like a really small thing. And then I will, just have it in my head and then be like, oh, wait a minute, this kind of sounds cool over this. But I think that like letting the music speak to me and like being able to just like, again, just do what I want and do what the music tells me to do and shit is,
How much different is your writing process from music and preparing for battles?
It's pretty different. Like with music, there's just so many different ways that I can like. I've there's a song on my album that's not out yet, but there's a song on there that like I didn't write it down. You feel me? Like I went in the lab. Had the beat. I didn't freestyle it. Like I just
punching in.
I didn't punch in really. Like I just I went there. I sat down. I basically I wrote it at the crib, like, but in my head. I didn't write it. Like you feel me? I had the beat and I just was like, I had a verse in my head, I had a chorus, and so I did some shit like that before. And then
was that difficult?
No, it was cool. It was great. It was hella easy. Like
For
honestly,
real?
yeah.
It's pretty much. It's kind of like the same thing. You just got to remember it. Huh?
You just got to remember it. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. But I also like I don't know what happened. I think I was writing it and like everything came to me at once. So I was like, damn, I think I might have made a note for it. I was like, wait a minute, let me just try to like keep doing this without writing it down.
That's fire.
You feel me? And then I just had a verse and then I had a chorus and it, it's on Mama Proud. That's on my album. But
do you have a date for the album? If you can share.
No, I don't have a date. Yeah. Don't have a date. But working hard on it. Working hard on some music videos and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah, me and the team and Grand National's helping me and
That's
stuff.
dope.
So Deuce, Irk, or Kevin Allen, and Monty, and honestly everybody. And Ian's on the album. He's on there hard. 3 times.
Really?
Actually, yeah,
boy can rap. Man.
He did my intro. Actually, he did
That's
the intro
hard.
on the album, and it's it's really special. I really love the album, it's for preparing for a battle. It's very different. It's like honestly, what it looks like, I could tell you exactly what it looks like every time for when I prepare a battle. It's like I will sit down. I go in, like, the man cave and shit. Sit down in a chair like this, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I just kind of start watching battles that like I like, that I know that I like and shit, and then maybe watch some new shit that whatever, like stuff just kind of get me like excited and inspired and just like motivated to like be like, oh man, I'll cook these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Like you have to flip that kill mode switch a little bit.
Bro, that's how I do that.
That's fire.
And so I sit there and then I will stand up at some point and start pacing and just think of shit, and then I'll write something down, write something here and there, and it's very different because it's like, man, there's pressure to like have it memorized and do certain things and be like very clean and shit like that. Right. So like I very much like take, especially now during this tournament, taking that shit very seriously. So I'm like done. I like I have a schedule in my writing and I have a deadline that I give myself. You feel me?
I do the same time. Obviously, I don't rap, but with my working for myself, I give myself deadlines, bro.
It's not no different.
Yeah. Holding yourself, self-accountability can change your life, bro. I learned that. That's
a part of my shit. That's the part I was talking about earlier.
Just being self-aware and all of those things. That's a fact, bro. Again, when you figure out where you want to be in life, man, you know the changes you have to make better than anybody else can tell you.
100%, bro. It's crazy.
So speaking of the battle rap preparing, so you don't have to like psych yourself up and fake hate your opponent to rap for them?
No, I think I kind of used to and stuff like that. And even when I talk about like preparing, like I'm watching guys and, that's like a little piece of it, you feel me? But it's mostly like for me, and this is a part of the other thing that I think I unlocked is that it has nothing to do with who this dude is.
Right.
It's about like my performance and how I'm showing up. And it's about the impression that I leave with the person. Like, it really doesn't matter if I'm battling Loaded Lux or if I'm battling
me.
You feel me? Like, or, you know what I'm saying? Or like my partner. You
right.
Like,
that's hard. That's hard.
It has to be like high level. You know what I mean? Like, because people have expectations, and people have expectations of you, but they also have expectations of what they just want to see. You feel me? Like, you want to entertain people. Like, you want to leave people like, holy shit, what was that? So I'm writing with that in mind.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Because obviously I didn't know this, but coming in the game the way you did, it's almost like you kind of got thrusted into a certain tier off the bat because of do you feel like that at least?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about that earlier, and I guess like I got like high level competition.
I know you're super modest, bro. I know you're super modest. but honestly, because you speak about the expectations you have to kind of meet.
Yes.
Because I know when I watch a past battle, I'm expecting certain shit, and I didn't even really realize that until now. So how much when you're writing do you scrap shit because you think like, man, this isn't to the past level?
See, a lot, bro. Like all the time. But the thing is that I don't do that as much right now
because you're in your bag.
Because I'm in the bag. And honestly, there was, bro, I'll be 100% honest. There was shit there was like little things that I had like written down like way back. Like I still have like notes from battles and all that shit. That I've like used recently, you feel me? And this shit went up. You know what I'm saying? Like just as recently in my last battle, there was like one very simple, like kind of 2-bar line that I said, and I kind of can't remember what it was right now. But I definitely thought of that shit
years ago.
Like, nah, maybe not. Yeah, actually, yes. No, it was probably like years ago. And it probably was just some shit that I've scrapped because I was like, nah, it's not that good. And I'm finding myself doing that a lot, like being like, no, I should scrap this and be like, nah, keep that shit. And then I do, and every time it goes off, you feel me? So I'm like, okay, that's like a part of the trusting yourself thing.
Yeah, that's hard. So let's talk more about like the battle rap thing as far as the Lush One relationship. How did that kind of come about?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Shout out to Lush One before you go, because obviously
man.
I don't know him, but he's a staple in the battle rap community, and I'm a huge battle rap fan.
Yeah.
Did you, before you go into that, did you know there were that many battle rap fans in Oakland?
No, and I don't think there have been. I think it's grown as it's gotten more popular. I don't think that there's many. I think that battle rap, at least especially in the beginning, really appealed to like, a super type of like hip hop head type of, you know what I mean? And that's not super popular in Oakland, like, you know what I mean? It's not like New York or even LA. They got kind of them scenes like that that's even a little bigger than it is out here. Like out here, if you're not like sounding like such and such or saying so and so, they kind of might not give a fuck. You feel me? But yeah, it's dope to see battle rap fans out here in Oakland now, and people recognizing me as a evidence of that, because how the fuck they know who I am if they not watching my shit on YouTube. But what's it called? Yeah, Lush One, my fucking brother, this fool, got my number from somebody that I did like some kind of freestyle competition with or something when I was very young. And he pulled up on, this is before like battle rap. Like this is before there was people on YouTube really rapping over, like, you know what I mean? Maybe Fight Club was around at this time. I can't really remember the year and shit right now. I don't really need to do the math. But I was like, I was like 15. And Lush pulled up to my mom's apartment by the lake. He called me first and was like, yo, is this Pass? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, yo, man, my name's Lush. I got your number. We're doing an event. We want you to just come through and freestyle and shit and rap. Like, you know what I mean? We were trying to put people on or whatever. I'm like, amazing, bro. Hell yeah. So he like pulls up to my crib with Plex, my other family member, you know what I'm saying? My bro. And, there was like smoking in the car and had a stack of flyers and was like, here you go. And it had my name on it.
That's fire.
And I was like, okay. Like, I fuck with these guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, they pulled up, like, with a blunt. I was just like, this is awesome.
That's dope.
And then, I kept rocking with him, and then he got in the grind time, and so it was, like, natural that he would put me in that. And then, we just kept rocking together, and even, now we're still rocking together. He's a big part of why I'm in this tournament right now, and he put together me versus Hollow to Don. And honestly, all those big battles that I mentioned, like, were basically set up by him, you know what I mean, like, individually.
Do you have, like, a favorite battle?
Man, probably, probably my last one that I did, honestly.
I was about to guess that. It's probably one of your more recent ones. That's dope,
I think it's my last one, yeah. Because he went crazy. Like, he was trying to kill me. It's full city.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Like, and it was very close. It went down to the judging. Like, it went down to the fan vote. And the fan vote was only a couple %. I was like, fuck. He was trying to cook me up there. But, I got the dub, which is beautiful. But that's probably like the best like back and forth battle I ever had with anybody, bro. Yeah.
Is this out?
Not yet.
Okay. I was about to say I haven't seen this. This is versus you.
It just happened. It's me and City in the tournament.
M City or City?
M City.
He's fire, bro.
It's just City now.
Okay. I'm sorry. My bad.
No. I kind of like dissed him. I thought it was M City too. I like learned that it's
how far in between it, because it's so confusing because they drop them. Like even last time I saw you,
later.
I think your Fate battle had just happened.
Pretty far after.
And then I'm like, I saw him like damn near months later. How was that?
So, well, they're not really.
There's no schedule.
They're not really relying on YouTube. And there's no schedule.
Got you.
They're releasing them just, I think. So the point of them, I think, is the live stream.
The Twitch thing.
The Twitch shit. And if you're a subscriber on King of the Dot, if you like are a paid subscriber or whatever, I think, or do you have to pay to subscribe? I don't really understand. I don't know. I'm not a Twitch guy. You feel me? Yeah.
Same here.
But I think it's like, a monthly thing or whatever. And if you have a subscription, you can watch back all the battles, like any battle. And so you can watch back all the events, all the like different events that's on there, but you have to be a subscriber. And so I don't think they're really like tripping off the YouTube. And so they're just dropping them after they feel like it's been on Twitch long enough.
That's
cool. That makes sense. I get it. They're not finna get their YouTube views up. Right. I don't think that way. You feel me? But it's still like,
How do you? And again, you could talk about this if you want. How do you feel about everybody kind of going away from YouTube? Because it obviously it doesn't hurt the battlers brand, but it does in a way.
Yeah. Well,
because the views is kind of your bargaining.
The views, yeah. But you know what? The thing is that. The views is the bargaining thing to an extent, but it's also like I think at this point the shit has gotten so big that the people that know,
yeah,
and the people that are tapped in hear about who's doing something. I don't think I need to like rely on views. Somebody like me, somebody like Sue Surf, like somebody. I mean, me and Sue Surf are not exactly,
I know
the
what
same
you mean,
like thingamajig, but hey, maybe we are because he won a battle me now. Yeah. But
please kill him.
Hey man, listen, I'm gonna have to if we battle. You know what I mean? I have no other choice.
I fuck with Surf.
I fuck with Surf too, bro. That's the homie, man. So getting away from YouTube, I don't think it's like. I just think people need to pivot. And the thing about the YouTube views shit is it's only good for like a certain degree. You feel me? And it's like you don't own that shit. Like yeah, you might have had hella views, but so does like a cat video on YouTube, you feel me? So I think that like it does, but also it's like visibility and stuff like that. Like it's making it more like niche, you feel me? Or niche or whatever. But like at the same time, like I think it just makes battle rappers have to pivot, and maybe it's a good thing to not want to rely on YouTube or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So,
and it almost puts you, it makes the battle rappers probably have to do a little bit more work outside.
Exactly,
as far as branding and all of those things. And
which I think we've seen. I think we've seen like a lot of people like Bill, for example, is like, he's killing it, man.
Yeah, he's in his bag.
He's very visible out there, you feel me?
For somebody like me who's been watching it for so long, it's dope now watching you guys, like somebody like yourself in a tournament for 100K. You got people like we mentioned Surf, and these guys are talking about getting 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 grand just to even step outside. Hitman saying he made X amount of dollars off battle rap. Right. Like that from somebody like me, like to watch you guys, that shit's fire to me.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy, and it's beautiful. And even after this season, I'm just getting started.
Yeah,
this season is honestly the beginning of my return to battle rap.
That's fire.
Like I haven't been there 2 years. I got a lot to say.
Yeah,
I got one mission in this tournament, but in the season. But I have a couple other missions too that exist outside of the season.
A bigger scheme
this
to it.
This is the beginning to my return to battle rap.
Is there a reason why you stepped away? If you don't mind sharing.
No, it wasn't even a reason. Like I didn't even wasn't really intentional. My last battle was on URL, and it was like kind of like weird circumstance. It wasn't one of my best performances.
Who was that against?
Don Marino.
I don't think I saw that.
Don Marino.
Okay.
It's on the app. It's only on the app. That's one of those app exclusive.
Yep.
And it was like an app exclusive event. They didn't stream it on. And I think this was before they really started fucking with caffeine. But yeah,
but the break wasn't intentional.
Wasn't really intentional. The pandemic happened, and then like I was like not really trying to like go to some event like in some other state. You feel me? With hella people. Like I was like, oh no, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So there wasn't really no reason behind it, but it felt good. And then there was another tournament that never happened. Geechee talked about this publicly, so I don't know. I guess I could talk about it, but. It was a $40,000 tournament. It was supposed to be me, Geechee Gotti, B Magic, and Loso.
Was this the direct one?
It was with direct.
Yeah, okay.
And this shit was.
It was like a 2-day thing or something.
It was a 1 day.
One day.
So it was gonna be 2 battles in 1 day. So it'd be me and Geechee and or some shit. It'd be like whoever wins out of those 2 battles face each other.
It just didn't happen.
And it just did. But like
that kind of sparked.
We got contracts and everything. Like it was like, you know what I mean? Like niggas got deposits. Like it was a whole thing. You feel me? Like, but you know, they said hold the deposit. We're gonna redo it, and then it just
never happened.
So. But that's why I actually didn't get in the King of the Dot tournament at first, was because I was like, I'm locked in for this other thing.
Right.
It's the same date. I can't do that. But then that never happened. Another opportunity came up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna jump in. Fuck it.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Have you ever battled in Oakland?
Mm-hmm. A few times, yeah. Like Hollow was in Oakland.
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
See, this is before I was in college at this time, so this is before I was even, you know.
Bro, Lush was throwing events in Jack London, like the Metro. You know what I'm talking about? No. It's like a big ass warehouse, and they do like weird events there and shit like that. They did the wrestling. You ever been to them fucking hood slam? They was doing that shit over there, but it's like big ass warehouse where they do. Like, it's a legitimate.
I know I watched the battle, so I know the inside of the venue.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was in Jack
venue,
London though.
But yeah, it's right there. That's
and so Marvel and Verb happened there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Arsenal and Conceited.
Okay.
He was like, that was like.
I remember them saying Oakland, but I'm like, where the fuck is this?
Yeah. That's one of the first like events where people had battle rappers getting paid and flown out for real, like to battle.
That's fire.
And
bro.
like he did the next event. I did not actually battle at this event, but at this one, it was crazy. Hella people was there. He had Freeway there. This was in the same venue in downtown. He had the Jack there. Had Yuckmouth there.
The Jack, man.
That's where I first met him, was at that event.
Dope.
And it's kind of crazy. Like Lush brought him there, and like
that's dope.
Me and him knew each other and shit. And he was a huge battle rap fan.
That's
like he
fire,
knew
bro.
everybody.
That's dope. Bro.
I was like, what? Like I was extremely surprised. And then like the homies would be like, yeah, bro. Like him and you know what I mean, Selsky, bro, and all those other guys would be like, bro, we be at the crib like
watching
sipping lean and watching battles and shit.
That's hard.
Like, you know what I mean? I think he was staying at Hayward at the time.
That's dope.
And like he knew like who everybody was. People was walking around. He's like, oh yeah, what's up? And I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, you would never imagine.
I was
that.
mind blown, bro. Like it was crazy.
That's
but
fire.
yeah, wild.
That's
wild
dope.
shit.
Would you ever want to throw your own event?
I have thought about it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would.
There's probably a lot that goes into that.
There's a lot that goes into it. I don't know if I'd want to start like a league necessarily, but I would be down to throw like an event or an event series that was like trying to highlight Bay Area talent, because I think there's a lot of people out here that are really good. Some people are pretty good. Some people are like really, really good. Some people are crazy. And just to have another local platform, because everybody got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
If you from out here, there's nothing. You got to go to LA. Like even that is far.
Yeah,
like you know
they don't.
what I mean?
People don't understand how far we are from LA.
Yeah. No. Yes. This is not Cali.
You're right. Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, these Cali dudes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this was in LA, bro. You know
Bro, they don't. People don't. Being a hooper, right? When I used to be on the
and
on the
you was in LA
circuit,
too, bro, like-
anywhere, being in college playing basketball, it's
that's
like,
what-
bro, I'm
yeah,
not from
bro.
California. I'm from Oakland, bro. There's a difference because they think LA.
outta here,
like we
bro.
don't have Bloods and Crips and all of that.
Yeah, no,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? They don't
like,
really get that.
bro, now, like, I still be talking to these people, like, that I've known for years, you feel
And
me?
they still
And I'm
don't-
like, yeah, like, it take me, like, 6 hours, bro, or something to drive to L.A., bro. Like,
At the traffic event, obviously we both went. I saw you there.
yeah.
The Blood and Crip bars are like cringeworthy, and the
Yeah.
battle rappers don't understand that because
Yeah.
it's almost like a shot. Because like, bro, we don't have those
Yeah,
here, but
it's not.
they're just trying to cater to the crowd. And I get it. So yeah, man. Let's before we wrap it up really quick, let's just do you know when you're? Can you say when the next battle is?
Yeah, it's going to be March 5th, streamed live on Twitch, King of the Dot TV, on Twitch or whatever it is, you feel me? But you do not have to be a subscriber to watch it. I think you can vote, but if you want to watch them back, you got to be a subscriber.
Be a subscriber. What's the fastest you ever wrote for a battle real quick? That's the last question I got for you.
Oh, man. One time they switched the opponent on me with it was like a little over a week. You know what I'm saying? It was like about a week, actually.
3 rounds?
Yeah.
What?
And so it was Nestle. It was supposed to be me versus Young Ill.
I saw that Nestle battle.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was probably, I want to say like 2016, 2017, maybe. I can't really remember. It was in Toronto. It was at Was it a blackout?
I was just about to say it was one of their big
events. It might have been the
events.
blackout event. I can't really remember, but it was supposed to be me versus Young
I
Ill.
remember the
It didn't
situation
happen.
actually. Yeah.
And Young Ill catted, I think, you know. And
This was this was in the middle of one of his little.
It was during that time when he was kind of like, you know, was doing that, was not showing up for battles and shit, and, you know, people were saying whatever. But that would have been fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen one day.
Yeah,
but
I fuck with you.
But yeah, but when and then Nestle also, his opponent also like catted off on him, and so we ended up battling each other. Had like about a week's notice.
Damn. And you got
everything. And we had a good ass battle.
Yeah, I was about to say that was a good back and forth. Yeah, that was a good back and forth.
Crazy.
I remember that.
I think that year we got like best battle of the year on some like King of the Dot
award thing.
Award or
That's
something.
dope.
You feel me?
That's dope. Well, bro, I don't want to keep you here all day, man. I could talk battle rap with you forever, man.
Hey,
so
man.
I appreciate you coming down,
I'll
bro.
be back.
I'm about to say we got to do something when you go win this 100K, man.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe we take the cameras to halftime.
Come on, man.
We go celebrate.
I was just finna say that, bud. Oh my God, we could do this at halftime.
Yes, bro, for real.
With everybody there,
Yes.
and I'm gonna be a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It might be a little different than today. You know what I'm saying?
Well, brother, man, my brother Pass, bro. Before we go, can you say why you dropped the words off your name real quick? Was it like a rebrand thing or just?
I thought the name Passwurdz was kind of stupid, and everybody's just calling me Pass
Anyway.
But it's still like at this point, honestly, it's like still Passwurdz, bro. So many people call me that still, and you know, I'm not even tripping.
I feel
Yeah.
you. Well, brother, that's a wrap, man. I appreciate you doing this, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. Real
no
shit.
No problem, man. This was dope, bro. Hopefully, this is the start of to me interviewing a lot of battle rappers.
Yeah, man. I'll bring all the homies.
Yeah, I want to get Caustic in there, man. We didn't get to talk about the relationship with you and Caustic, but I know you really fuck with Caustic.
That's my bro. Yeah, he's a fucking asshole.
I don't. if he sees this and we didn't mention him, he might not do it.
No. Nah, he's definitely gonna.
Yeah, but we'll talk about all that later, man. He can rap his ass off too, though. He's another one. He's like, I'm from Oakland. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's been around he's been all over the place. You know what I mean? But he did he was like High Street, bro.
Yep.
It's crazy.
That's why it caught my attention.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, brother, it's a wrap, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yep.